Montreal Canadiens general manager Marc Bergevin, shown in a file photo, says there could be 10 players who have availed themselves of the substance abuse program administered by the NHL and the NHLPA, but nobody would know because it is confidential. Peter McCabe Montreal Gazette Mario Tremblay, who returned to broadcasting after a mediocre head coaching stint with the Canadiens and 8 seasons of riding on Jacques Lemaire's coattails, dropped a bombshell last week when he suggested that a Canadiens player had twice sought help for a substance abuse problem. In the days that followed, the player in question said he didn't know what Tremblay was talking about. A Canadiens spokesman said he could neither confirm nor deny the report. And general manager Marc Bergevin said there could be 10 players who have availed themselves of the program administered by the NHL and the NHLPA, but nobody would know because it is confidential. NHL players are subjected to random testing for performance-enhancing and recreational drugs, but there's a difference in how positive tests are treated. Test positive for steroids and you face a suspension. If you're smoking pot or snorting coke, there is no punishment unless you're arrested for using or possessing an illegal substance. The players do receive counseling as well as a reminder that help is only a phone call away. The confidential nature of the program encourages players to come forward and get help. Casually dropping a reference to a player's problems on radio doesn't help anyone. Maybe Tremblay is upset that his own problems with alcohol were made public. He was pulled over for suspicion of speeding in 2013, and when the officer involved smelled alcohol on his breath, Tremblay invoked what former colleague Doug Camilli called the Important Persons Act. Displaying the same arrogance that marked his tenure behind the bench, he announced, "You can't do this to me. I am Mario Tremblay." He then complicated the situation by accusing the officer of showing poor judgment, comparing him to PK Subban. He was subsequently convicted of refusing to take a breathalyzer test. The NHL drug policy is going to become more complicated next season when using recreational cannabis becomes legal in Canada. When that happens, there will 14 NHL cities where it will be legal to have a toke. Another 6 cities are in states that allow for medical cannabis use, which will be a boon to players with concussion-like symptoms and other ailments. There are 6 other cities where it has been decriminalized. Texas, Tennessee and Florida still take a hard line, although the liberal folks in Dallas have a cite-and-release policy, which means they treat it like a traffic ticket. Struggling in nets, Carey Price's goaltending woes have spread through the entire Canadiens organization. Heading into training camp, there appeared to be an embarrassment of riches, and the question was how to get everyone enough playing time to stay sharp. The new question is, can anyone stop a puck? Price won Saturday night against the Rangers, but his goals against average went up to 3.64 and his save percentage dropped to .883. Backup Al Montoya has a 4.20 GAA and a save percentage of .863. In Laval, Charlie Lindgren's numbers are 3.60 and .883, and Zach Fucall is at 3.52 and .866. Michael McNiven, who was the best goalie in junior hockey last season, is struggling with the winless Brampton Beast. He has a 4.19 GAA and an .868 save percentage. Speaking of Laval, Martin Riway's bid to win an NHL job is over. He was placed on waivers this weekend given his release so he can go back to Europe. Riway, who missed all last season with a heart problem, played in only half of Laval's 10 games and had 2 assists. College report card Jake Evans, the Notre Dame center who was the Canadiens' 7th-round draft pick in 2014, is the leading scorer in U.S. college hockey with 3 goals and 15 points. Ryan Poehling, who was the Canadiens' first-round draft in June, has 8 points in 5 games for St. Cloud State, which is ranked number 2 behind defending NCAA champion Denver. The 18-year-old Poehling had 13 points in 35 games last season. Canadian women back on track. Megan Augusta scored twice and Les Canadiens' Maria-Philippe Poulin had a goal as Team Canada defeated the U.S. 51 earlier this week in Boston. That ties their 6-game pro-Olympic series at 11. Both teams have full-time training programs, but the Americans will be enjoying the weather in January. The Canadian team is based in Calgary while the U.S. team is training north of Tampa in Wesley Chapel, FLA. Vicky at postmedia.com. Twitter's a babes1.